Welcome, everyone, to your weekly world session. Today is January 7th, 2025. Yeah, I said 2025. All right. So today what we're going to work with is it's cold flu season up in the northern hemispheres. Um, Whether you're northern or southern, let's work at the change of seasons and being able to optimize our immune systems. We're looking at uncertainty. So that's going to affect our immune systems, whether from things like cancer all the way to, catching a cold or allergens. So we're going to run through all of that. Your brain is going to scan through all of these things, and we're going to get to uncertainty. So, of course, excuse me. Of course, we know life is completely uncertain. Historically, human beings have lived with uncertainty. Yet, excuse me, there are cycles, right? The cycles of the seasons. We're certain that the seasons are going to change. We're certain that night will become day. Of course, if you go to one of the hemispheres and all of a sudden it's night and it doesn't become day for 6 months, well, then you kind of go, ooh, life is not certain. We're not working with those things. We know there are certain things that are going to happen. But what happens to us as humans is within the brain, we're going to look at the way the liver is able to manage lack of predictability. We've got global concerns going on right now, economies, finances, money, a lot of countries dealing with too much heaviness from the population and lack of production. You got many countries that are producing, doing well, really well, selling to the rest of the world, but there are a lot of countries that are not producing. So that is creating what we've come up with today is this uncertainty that dips into your daily uncertainty, right? So there's economic uncertainty, there's health uncertainty, there's where you're living uncertainty, there's weather uncertainty, there's all kinds of stuff. What we want to look at is enhancing through the liver. The liver is the consciousness of organization and planning. What do we do when we plan? We don't want to have the heaviness of uncertainty within our plans. We know things are not completely certain, but we know we have the wherewithal to healthily deal with whatever is on our plate in the moment. So someone said that's being very present. Yes, it is, but it's also using the liver and an aspect in the brain that organizes and plans what we need to do in a smaller term. Let's say a day, then you've got a week, then you've got a month, you've got 6 months, you've got a year, and then you've got 5 years, 10 years. These are really important things. Now, remember, kids can't necessarily do that. Even teenagers, you really need to have a fully developed prefrontal cortex, which occurs around 24, where it's fully developed, and kids can really foresee what goes on in their futures. So when whoever's listening to this that is under 24, you might struggle to be putting some of these things together. Of course, you can make plans for the next week, but sometimes you can't necessarily see yourself where you're going to be. So when you think of those of us who are way past that age, you can kind of look back and go, oh my goodness, why at 21 didn't I do this, that, or the other thing? Well, we didn't because we couldn't foresee. We were more in the present. But then once we got to 23, 24, 25, we started looking, hey, we've got a future. We need to save money. We need to, make sure we're going to school and doing the right things. So we're just we want to get the doom and gloom, the fear, and I think I'm going to go with some disappointments in relationship to expectations that produce whiny sadness, fantastical thinking, magical thinking. Well, it'll get better. Of course, it does get better, but it can go worse. You can improve on things by doing things in a healthy way, like healthily spending your money, healthily saving your money, healthily eating, taking care of your body, taking care of, if you've already got a home, you want to take care of your home. So we're looking at all of those things and helping your brain, the reticular of the brain and the liver help you organize while it's releasing fear from the entire system. Okay, so now breathe. We're also going to optimize the immune system. So my sense is the healthier we are, or the way we deal with our lives in a more and more healthy way, the greater our immunity. The more we deal with our lives in a healthy way, the greater our immunity. When we start feeling like things are falling apart and we don't deal with it in a healthy way, it also lowers our immunity. So really feel into that. I can already feel um, that our stem cells can be optimized to go to different areas in the body and rejuvenate those areas that have been lazy, especially during this time where in the southern hemisphere it's summer. You can rest, enjoy the sun, get that vitamin D, good foods. And in the northern hemisphere, we're more sleepy, taking care of the body, finding the best nutrition possible, and getting a lot of rest and allowing the body to bring to the surface. Even it doesn't have to just be cleaning our senescent cells and allowing our bodies to antioxidize by grounding, which we are lacking in the northern hemisphere at this point. But you could use a grounding mat if you like, or using antioxidants or eating antioxidative foods. Okay, nice deep breath. I can already feel sinus passages and lungs clearing up. So when I started this session, my lungs were pretty heavy. I still feel around here. There's still some congestion. This is from, the being inside, I think, and winter setting in, the lungs getting laden. So if you have asthma, things like that, is a great session to help the immune system. And I'm not just looking at, your the immune system dealing with what is in the body or is coming into the body, but your consciousness, the immune system's consciousness, which is to defend you. So if you feel like you're vulnerable against what is going on in the world, it's going to compromise your immune system. If you feel vulnerable in your life where you feel like things are not working out for you, that's going to compromise your immune system. This session is to help you get that strength so that you can do things in a healthy way and better live your life. Okay, so nice deep breath. And we're just going to tap that in. And you could hold your liver. I'm going to liver areas in the brain where we're antioxidizing and we're also giving the body mind that consciousness of appropriate defense. So when we look at our accounting and we say, okay, I'm going to reduce spending over here, increase productivity over there, get everything going. That is a healthy way of looking at things. And it's also like an antioxidative sort of treatment for yourself. And it gives the body mind that strength that it needs. So healthy views on life. I know you could still feel afraid. You can still find those moments where, oh my God, things aren't going great for me. Yeah, it does happen. But this is your moment to sit back and see, how can I use all of my faculties to do what is the most healthy for me? And that's going to be economics, house, body, work, and be able to find out, where do I need to go? Like some people will tell me, okay, I don't have money. All right, you don't have money. Time to look for a job. I'm not qualified. Time to make yourself qualified or even notice what is good about you. And of course, there are certain people who are really in a desperate situation. Those people can also, in many ways, go to government, go to in some countries, your church can help you out, your neighbor can help you out. Just remember there's always the kindness of others that is around. When you've got a good heart, they have a good heart. When you're living a healthy life, even if it's not working, you will attract that to you. So we're also so I said magical thinking before. We don't want to think just like magic will happen, but I also like to bring in magic does happen. The moment you use your voice to ask, you're doing everything you need to do. You're organized. When you go to ask someone for something and you've tried everything, and they say, you say to them, I need your help. I've tried everything. There's no avenue. I just need your help. They will help you. If you haven't tried anything, like somebody's sitting in their house not doing a thing and you go and ask for help, well, you're probably not going to attract help. So healthy living, no matter how difficult it is, we all have difficult moments in our lives. I'm not saying that some aren't worse than others, but we've all had really terrible times. So it's not necessarily an excuse. And also for those of us who've gone through terrible times, it might be great to look around and see, is there anybody I can help? Now that even if it's your wisdom, your pearls of wisdom. I was listening to Joe Rogan once. I think it was Joe Rogan, and they were talking about, you go to the gym and you don't know how to do things in the gym. If you ask somebody at the gym, especially one of those guys who are always there training, usually they're really, really happy to help. They love to talk to people and tell people how work this machine or that machine or work this muscle or that muscle. And it's so funny because I thought, oh, I want to ask somebody about this particular machine. I've forgotten how to do it. And it was so funny. I just looked over and there was a guy on the machine and a guy behind him. He said, hey, let me help you out, dude. You're doing that wrong. I'll show you exactly how to do it. And I was like, wow. I even asked in my head. And there this guy showed, it was the rowing machine. I had forgotten exactly. I was watching people. I said, that doesn't look right. And this guy did it exactly the way you needed to do it. He's a rower. And I thought, there you go. Easy peasy. You just ask and it will be served as long as you're trying. It's not like you just ask and you haven't done whatever it is you need to do. All right, remember, healthy living. I'm not talking about supernatural or anything like that, just healthy living, right? Exactly. So we'll get the brain in line with this so you can live your healthiest self. So unpredictability becomes par for the course because everything is unpredictable. um, I could get up from here, fall over, crush, break my head open, and it's all done. So life is definitely unpredictable. Even worse is I could survive and, not have a brain anymore. So we know it's always around us, but we're living in the healthiest way possible. We're living in the best way possible, eating, the best way we can, exercising in the best way we can. I know a lot of people who tell me, oh, I can't exercise because, I don't have money to go to the gym. And I'm like, just use books, just use furniture, lift your furniture. That's all you have to do, pick up a chair and keep lifting it. Just look online, ask somebody. Things are pretty simple. When you don't have, you start to what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. And that's when you really, really learn. The other thing I'm thinking about a lot during this session, keeps popping up, is um, even if we're in hard times or looking at, I know a lot of people like me, things are not the way they were, that there's less activity, work wise for a lot of people, especially business owners and stuff like that. Things have gotten pretty slow in some areas of the world. So, in with that in mind, remember allowing yourself to get bored really helps you come up with ideas. So, if you need to know a little bit more about that, look up John Cleese, one of the Python boys, on creativity. And that is a wonderful video to help you figure out how to be creative, even if it's, figuring out your own creativity. And there you go. Enjoy that. Tap that in. This is another one of those sessions that are really useful when you get a little freaked out by life. Okay. Take care and have a great week. See you next week.